Good morning. Actually, let me make a quick adjustment to this YouTube camera. It's a little bit off. And then when I do that, I'll have to adjust this one too. So, good morning and welcome to 5 Minutes or More with Pastor. Give a few moments for a few people to get on. Good morning, Anita. What is today? It is Thursday, July 16th. It is clear and sunny and gonna be pretty warm today. Looks like we'll get a little warm streak and then we dip. I think there's one day where it gets cool and then it gets really, really warm next week. But just as a brief reminder, this is the final 5 minutes or more with Pastor for this week. And so, but hopefully we'll end on a good one here. God's word is always good and always helpful. And I just emailed Melissa to put this in the announcements for Sunday, but I'll go ahead and say it here as well. Been working on some new things for family night in August. I'm hoping to restart that in August with a way that is a little bit more integrated for everybody, and so excited about that possibly coming up in August. And so, Micah Bosworth, good to see you. Hope you guys are doing well. Praying for you and your search for a building. Katie, I'm sure, and the boys this morning. Good to see you guys as well. Anita, I'm guessing that thumbs up is for family night. I know we've all enjoyed it. I always did as well. And just I kind of wanted to reshape it a little bit to see if we could get some more regular involvement from people, and we'll see if that works. But I look forward to doing that. So Psalm 72 and verse 6. Actually, I want to read verse 1 to give some context, and then verse 6. Verse 1 says, "Give the king thy judgments, O God, and thy righteousness unto the king's son." I'm of the belief that much of the Psalms has a very prophetic tone to it. And when I read through Psalm 72 in this section about the righteous king, I believe it's prophetically speaking about Jesus' reign and his kingdom. But obviously there are things and principles that we learn and gain from and desire in rulers, really. One of the things that David expressly mentions in verse 6 is this. Look what he says. Speaking of this righteous king, in verse 6, he says, "He shall come down like rain upon the mown grass, as showers that water the earth." You know, one thing that David was saying about a good leader, about somebody that was specifically a king, somebody that was in an official position here. He said one of the things that makes a good ruler is that they are a source of refreshment for the people that they rule over. Again, he says, "He shall come down like rain upon the mown ground, as showers that water the earth." And I think oftentimes David desired to be that kind of leader. Jesus will be that kind of leader and is that kind of leader. But just like the rainfall brings and sustains life within the land, I believe that God has a desire to bless the nation through godly leadership. And by the way, that's one powerful reason for us to wisely know who the options are in official positions and to vote for people that whose stances are biblical or godly stances. And I think we just look at the history of our country down through America's history. It usually looked in its past, it would look for godly character traits in its officials. Now, regrettably, those people are not the ones that always won, and they won't always win. But I believe as Christians, it's important for us to think who are these people that are trying to, as best they can, build their platforms around biblical thoughts and biblical truths and biblical principles. And so sometimes we need to wade through that. I want to read some of this information to you that I thought was really interesting. Speaking about our country and its selections of leaders, one such official that matches the description I was just talking about, by the age of 15, was already working as a professional surveyor far beyond the Blue Ridge Mountains. The wilderness had a profound impact on him. testing his endurance and forcing him to improvise to meet unexpected challenges as he opened wide new expanses of land for the nation. By age 21, he was a major in the colonial army and fought during the French and Indian War. His bravery made him a living legend when, in one battle, he had two mounts shot from under him and his hat and uniform were riddled with bullets. In 1775, after the first shots between the Redcoats and the Minutemen were fired at Lexington and Concord, the Second Continental Congress unanimously elected him as Commander-in-Chief of the Continental Army. Why? Because he was the type of godly man who never quits, no matter how difficult the odds. History records that George Washington was a man of prayer, and our nation was refreshed because of his commitment to God. And, I think anybody that has a place of leadership, whether it's a parent in the home, whether it's an employee over some people or an employer over some people, or whether that's whether that's somebody that's a teacher in a classroom, or whether that's a pastor of a church, or whether that's an elected official. I think one of the things that we should aim to do with our life, as the Lord allows us to exude some influence on people's life, is to, as we do that, fulfill verse 6, where it says, "He shall come down like rain upon the mown grass, as showers that water the earth." I think we all agree that leaders that refresh us, that are a source of refreshment, like rainfall, is a great blessing to people. A great blessing to people. And so I pray that we're that kind of people. I pray that we're that kind of person. I pray that you're that kind of person. I pray that I'm that kind of person. And I pray that we will do our part to try to put people who represent us into positions who are like that as well, who build their lives on godly biblical principles and can be a refreshment to the nation. And I pray that we'll seek those people out and do our part in that way. And more than anything, though, you know what it does? It makes me long for a coming kingdom and a coming king who is that and who will do that. Look forward to the rule and the reign of Jesus, because as his children, that's what he will be. Obviously, to others, he will be a conquering king, and he will be, the judge sitting on a throne. But as his children, he'll be our refreshing ruler. And I look forward to that day as well. And I hope you do too. I hope you have a good rest of the day and a good rest of the week. And we'll catch you next week sometime. And find some place that's cool, has some good air conditioning, because I do think it's going to get kind of warm at the beginning of next week. So hope you have a good rest of the day, and we will talk to you guys later.